so this is going to be a twin flame reading. It's for twins that are in separation, so that is a non-physical union at right now. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And just whichever piles kind of jump out at you. If you want to listen to more than one, that's fine. Just whatever kind of calls to you. This is number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time talking. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the piles. All right, good luck. Okay, pile number 1. So, it's been a while, right? Things look a little different. Yeah, I've been busy doing stuff. All right, so everybody gets 2 extra or 2 of the Smith-Waite cards in every pile. They wanted me to pull an extra card for some reason. I'm not, sure, but once I saw the cards, and I was like, okay, it really makes a lot of sense when they're put together, read together anyway. So at first I thought this was going to be like an extra card that I read in addition, but all these cards seem to be read together, so I'm going to read them together then. All right, Chariot and 7 of Wands. Let's see. Let's start with the Chariot. Chariot is typically about movement. Or maybe what is hindering it could be the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands, to me, is always like being very defensive. You have your guard up, you're, just on edge. Everything is very... What's the word? Everything is just very... Like, it's almost like you're afraid at every turn you're going to be taken advantage of, or that something is going to, happen and blow up, or like something is going to go on. Someone in this dynamic is very... And maybe both. Because, you're mirrors, so... I feel like it might be both. I feel like it's kind of... It might be like switching off almost. But like every time it does it, it goes back and back and back, but it's less and less and less and less. So this is something maybe that you've been working on for a while. This like defensive, somebody just doesn't want, to put their guard down, to put their defenses down. They just don't want to. Or they can't. Maybe they do want to, they just, they haven't figured out, how to do that yet. It takes time. It takes, a lot of work. You got to do a lot of work. If one of you feel very on your own, like it's very on, like you have nobody else that can do what you're doing or handle what you're handling, or you know what I mean? And like there's other, I feel like there's other things like, whoop, I'll get it. There's other things here willing to maybe come help you, but you're like, no, I don't need the help. I'm fine. I don't need help. See, I'm fine. I have my 1 stick. I don't need any more. Like, I feel like there is help if you want it. It's just maybe you're just like, no, I'm good. I don't need any. I don't think. Okay. I'm trying to like feel why. It might be for some, it could just be like that's just like a built-in, they've always had to kind of do things themselves kind of thing. For some it might be like a need to just kind of be a perfectionist, like they like to do things themselves because nobody else is going to be able to do it as good as they want it to be done. Like it's just, that's just them. You know, but for either of these people, I think it's really, really saying it's, you need sometimes to have help. You need sometimes to have people around you kind of encircle you almost and help you through certain times. And, you know, it's not weakness. It's not, it might be uncomfortable. You know, because if you're used to being a person that kind of shoulders everything and, you know, carries burdens and really feels like they have to do things, you know, on their own, it's not easy. It's not easy to allow people in when you're so used to being, you know, like nobody needs, there's like a line, you don't need to cross it. You know, everything else can be handled by me. I can do it, you know. I keep hearing no, and I don't, no. It's like somebody's, like they don't want to admit something, like they don't want to realize something. For somebody, it's like they're just like, no. You know, first, this could be for some people, they really haven't, like, let go of the need to control how everything is working. One of them is very much, I don't want to say a control freak, but they might be. You know, and this, I think they've definitely been working on it, and I think they're trying to, they still have like this need to, I don't know, play chess with the universe or something, but like not everybody, some of them maybe, some of the sticks may be sticks you don't want to come near you, okay? But some of them actually might be people really trying to help. You know, so just as long as you're using your intuition, I think you'll be fine. So I don't think you should be so afraid to drop barriers, and I think it's especially true with your counterpart. You know, you really have to be vulnerable. You have to be able to take down, you know, fences and things that you've had built up for so long. You have to be willing to do that, and it's not easy. It's not easy to talk about things that, you know, are very honest with yourself. It's not. If it was easy, everyone would do it. You know, it's not. You know, but once you can do that, once you can be open, once you can allow, once you can relax and let things kind of unfold how they need to, only doing things when you're guided to. Like I'm really, even right now, I got a point where it's like I'm very, what happens, what doesn't. You know, the only thing you can control is just what you're doing yourself. You know. I heard the universe works through people. It's true. It really does. It's like, there'll be sometimes where I'm like, I'm not getting a lesson. I know I'm not. Like, there's something, like, I think like I've learned it, and then I'm like, no, there's something, you know, when you're like doing shadow work, or you haven't like reached the true root of it, you know, and you just know there's something else. That's when the universe will send, like, and it could be, it won't be like random strangers. It could be random strangers, but usually it's people that you kind of deal with, you know, your mom, or a spouse, or, you know, somebody that's, you know, around you. And it could be something that you think about them. You know, you might catch yourself thinking something about somebody, and then it's like, oh, I'm like that. You know, I do that. You know, we have to really destroy everything we've built up against allowing in love. You know, and that requires a lot of honesty. Once this is worked on, and this is kind of, I mean, now, I really don't think in these relationships, like, you have to be 100% like perfect. I think you have to reach like a certain level of clearing this stuff, and then like you can work on the rest together. So I think once you've reached a level of understanding in this, and you've taken down enough of these walls, and you've allowed, you know, this love to come in enough, I think that's what's going to kind of kickstart this. You know, and that's what's going to get this moving. There is movement now, but it's not, you know, the tangible 3D movement that everyone wants to see. You know, it's a lot of stuff that's behind the scenes. It's a lot of spiritual things, fifth dimension, you know, stuff, people going before you, clearing a path. You know, you have a lot of angels and family and all sorts of stuff working for you behind the scenes. You don't even realize at any given moment. And it's incredible when you sit and you think about it and you really kind of tune into what they're doing for you. It's incredible. You should say thank you. So, oh, my nails match. The Chariot. The Chariot, I love the Chariot. Chariot is balance. It's very balanced. Card of Cancer. Which Cancer season has been, I don't know who else has been feeling Cancer season, but I have. I was born in Cancer, Leo cusp, Cancer, I have a Cancer moon, and I think my Venus is in Cancer too. So I'm full of Cancer, so this is like it's probably why I've not been doing as many videos, because I'm like needing to recharge. I have to be very careful around certain times, because I'm like very much ruled by the moon. So balance has been a real issue for, I mean, not even me, but like other readings and stuff. Like it's balance is something everybody seems to be trying to hold on to right now. But this indicates that for some of you, once this is achieved, that's going to be what you are looking for in terms of balance, and it's going to cause movement. For some of you, it's integrating one of your sides, either your masculine or your feminine. I feel like it might be a masculine side for somebody that they need to work on more, integrate more. And it's from an area of like, you know, what they think a man is. Okay, so someone needs to prioritize what they think a man is. So there's somewhere for you to start if that message is for you. If it's not, don't worry about it. Okay. I loved your other two cards. They kind of are similar to me. You got freedom and justice. All right, I'll start with the angel card. My nose is getting... All right, it says, fair and just decisions, do what you know is right and stand up for your beliefs. If you can see. All right. I heard Three Little Birds. Awesome song. That's kind of like what I'm feeling. It's like out of focus. There we go. I kind of feel like as long as you're doing things that are like authentic and honest and from a place that's loving, you'll be fine. You know, it's a step process, everything you're going through. You know, this isn't something like you're going to sit down one time and be like, all right, I'm cured. Like, it doesn't work like that. This is a process, and this is something that you probably aren't even going to totally heal, you know, and probably until even after you guys are in union. It's probably going to be an ongoing thing, but I mean, I think like the destructive, toxic kind of level of this is gone. So this is saying as long as you continue this effort to, you know, kind of unravel what this is and work through it, work together, everything's going to work out in your favor. I love every time I see this, all I can think is, Crank That Soldier Boy, right? That's like, so I don't know. Every time I see this card, it makes me laugh. Every time I see it, I'm like, ugh. That's just... Huh. Someone needs to watch their back, I heard. Wow. Alright, there's this little guy back here, and then there's this guy here, and they're trying to stab her in the back. So I feel like there's two definite people for one of you, maybe one each, maybe both, I don't know. Somebody's got somebody around them that, or a couple people around them, they really, they don't need around them. So that's, and I feel like it's, you see like how much the other angels are like fawning over this person. I think that's why. Oh my God. It's like a jealous. They're like very jealous. Envy, like it's just very. they're not somebody who speaks truth or kindly of anyone when they're not near them. Wow. So you need to watch out for whoever that is, because not who you need to have in your life. Wow. They took me out of this card to give me that message about those people. So you really need to like think who it could be. You know, a good place to start is like if you're around somebody, who is it that talks about other people the most? Because then that's probably who's talking about you. Just saying. Okay. Yeah, I just feel like if you kind of just speak your truth, do everything you feel is the right thing to do for you. You know, don't do what others want you to do. Don't worry about what other people are doing. As long as you're kind of, focused on your own little area, everything's going to work out in your favor. It really is. Someone is like, they're blunt now. Like they're very like, they point out the sword, and it's like they're just really like cutting things down now with truth. Like they don't give a fuck who is talking to them. If they have something to say, it's flying out of their mouths, and like people are like, they don't even care anymore. And that's great. That's really wonderful. Also like, if someone is like belittling someone, you need to stand up for them. Okay, sometimes, we're not supposed to have any involvement in somebody's life and their journey and lessons. I get it, but sometimes I feel like we are placed places on purpose. And if that's just to stick up for someone who's being berated, then I think that's what you should do. You should always, trust your intuition, of course, but, sometimes I think we're put places for a reason. So if somebody needs your help, you should definitely think about helping them. One of you is like broken away from something, because there's like a whole pack of other like angels and stuff here, you can see, and like this one has like broken off from the rest of them, and they're like they're kind of on their own, but they have like this a support system with a couple people that shouldn't be in it, but they have a lot of people that are very admiring of them. And she's just very like titties out, don't care. She doesn't. One person I feel is trying to keep you stuck where you are. Okay? Two people are envious and backstabbing. There could be two people that are equal, like vibrationally with you, but there's one that's a little bit above. And that's the one that's in her ear. The one she's listening to. Which is great. You should always listen to your highest self. That's a great thing. So one angel looks like he's reading a newspaper. I was like, what the hell is that? Let's see that. You can see. Despite having all these people around her, she's still very much like focused on just like what she's doing. She's not, you know, she's like looking somewhere else. She doesn't care. She's, you know, she knows that these people admire her. She knows that these people like her or whatever. She probably knows some of them don't. But she just doesn't care. Like she's having so much fun being her. You know, like she just doesn't care. Okay. For some of you, this also goes for emotional freedom, freedom and intimacy. And when I said intimacy, my heart, like, so I think someone is either have a block about being intimate. Maybe they've never been. Maybe they've never had anyone intimate with them. You know, I think relationships kind of, people seem to base relationships on what other people base relationships on, base what other people base relationships on. You know, and it's like they that's how they compare. Like, well, other relationships, these people do this. Okay, that's those people. Like, you know, so it's not. I feel like I'm gonna fly into a rant here about something. Like I can feel it coming. I'm like, I'm not sure. I think, and I don't want to like throw guys under the bus, you know, because it's not just guys. I think, you know, women too. It's, you know, things are kind of sexualized in a way. So I mean, real intimacy is misconstrued as purely sexual, and it's not. So when people are faced with somebody who knows how to be intimate with somebody, and they've never had somebody be that way with them, it's terrifying. Like, shit your pants terrifying. Like, it's terrifying. Feelings, it's, I get it. And it's because you've not had that your whole life. You don't know what that is. You know, and especially for me, like for somebody who knows feelings, like I felt a lot of feelings in my life. You know, to do what I do, you typically have to. You know, people, you know, that are able to do this kind of stuff or want to do this stuff, they typically will go through a lot of things. And so they know the feelings so that they can say, oh, this is the feeling I'm feeling, and they can, you know, but for somebody who's not felt that, and then to feel it's like being hit with a Mack truck. It's terrifying. E. They just showed me a bunch of E's. I don't know why is that. And is E important for somebody? If it is, there you go. There's your confirmation. That's a 5. A, B, C, D, 5. 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5 for somebody. You know, so I think that this is, you know, for some of you, somebody might have an issue with real intimacy, with being not only intimate with them, themselves, but with other people, like in a real honest, vulnerable, completely authentic kind of way. Like they're terrified. Anyone see 7-Eleven a lot? That just came in my head. My mouth is dry. Sorry. I'm not sorry. That's one thing I'm working. I do that a lot. Like it's a habit I'm working on. I'll be like, I'm sorry. Like back on. And I shouldn't. Like because I'm not sorry I took a sip of coffee. I was fucking thirsty. So, everybody's working on stuff, right? These are like little side missions I'm on. I don't want to say sorry if I'm not sorry anymore. I'm not sorry for taking a sip of coffee. I'm not. I enjoyed it. So for some of you, maybe you need to stop saying you're sorry. Okay? Some of you might also be like, it's just like programmed, like it's like you automatically want to apologize in case you've offended anyone by sipping a coffee. Like at this point, I don't give a shit. So, I think the message for this one is like I just feel like you're at this one point and this is just that little bit of crack that needs to be cleared out right here. And then you guys are like, you're moving. I don't know if someone's moving into a city. I thought random, and then the word random was on there. Anyway, what's going to be key here? This. Being as authentic as possible. Doing everything that you believe to be, right for you. That is the only way, and not even right for your counterpart. Like, this isn't about doing what's right for them. Like, sometimes what's right for you is not right for them because they're still having their own experience. So this is purely something that you have to do on your own. This is something you have to be able to constantly make choices about doing. Because there's going to be people and they'll come up to you and they'll say, hey, do you want to do this? If you don't want to do it, you have to say no. Or if they're trying to make plans, in the future, say, I'll have to look and see what I'm doing. I'll have to see, maybe I'll have to wait till the day. If you're type of that person, and I'm like that. Like, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I want to go out, I want to do things. And then the day will come and be like, I don't feel like going now. I wanted to, but now I don't. And that's okay. That's totally okay. And you have to be okay with that. It's not easy to speak your truth around people who don't see it the same way. But the good thing about it is usually after you do it, typically, it's not as bad as you think it is. As long as you're doing it in a way that's loving and not, from an ego-driven point of view, I really don't think it will come across in a bad way. A lot of it is energy and how you are presenting yourself when you're saying these things. So I don't think, to be honest, whoever is having a real issue with that, while it's scary, no doubt, like, totally scary, to be honest, sometimes. You'll find out after you do it, it's not as bad as you think it might be. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. you know, every time you do it, just, you know, kind of envision yourself taking a brick down from that defensive wall you've built around yourself. You know, some people like really don't like to go anywhere. They don't like to do anything. They don't, you know, and you gotta get out of that. You gotta get into a go out and be ready kind of thing. Like, I messed my toe up. Like, it's horrible. So it's been like difficult to walk for a little bit, and like it's driving me crazy not walking as much as I like. I'm going kayaking later, so that'll make up for being stuck in the house. But it was bad. I had to go to the hospital and everything. It was like still all black and blue, and it's horrible, my foot. But like, because I've been inside so much, I can feel myself. I'm like, whoa, I need to be outside. I need to have sunlight. So somebody might be going through that as well. Somebody really might need to go outside, get some sunlight. Right here. Is that it? Okay. I think that's it. I think that's all the messages. I want to make sure. Oh, okay. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to be friends with me on Instagram, Divine Destiny 1111. DivineDestinyTarot.com is my website. You can go there and get a reading. Thank you for everyone who watches these. Thank you for commenting and subscribing and kind of being a part of my little tribe I'm making. So thank you. That's it. Hope everyone has a great day, and I'm going to get out of here. Bye. Hey, pile number 2. All right. So everyone got an extra card today. I was told to pull an extra card, and usually when that happens, it's just to have an extra card. But this time they want me to read it together, so all these cards kind of are coming together for like one, just these cards, for like one combined message. I have to say, I love your guys' reading. Like, I really do. Like, I love it. Love it. Okay, we're gonna start. We got 5 of Wands and the Sun. The Sun is such a beautiful card. Warm, exciting, just bursting with life, energy, newness, just innocence, everything beautiful. You know, the sun is ruled, or the sun is rules Leo. I'll say ruled by Leo. I'm sure if you ask a Leo, it's that way. I actually got, when I went in and I said I wanted yellow, and they suggested to get sunflower yellow. So that's funny that we have sunflowers here, because that's what was. Because I'll let the lady who does my nails, I love them, by the way. They do a great job. They're on my Instagram too. She suggested this color. I actually picked a different color. She's like, "Are you sure you want that?" I'm like, "Well, what were you thinking?" And she picked sunflower. And I was like, I love sunflower. So that's why I got that. So that's funny that we have sunflower in today's thing. Oh. It's hard to pick stuff up when it's flat on the floor. It's got something on it. Sorry. It's got stuff on it now. I don't know what that was. Okay. I ruined my cards. I feel like sunflowers is important for somebody. You know what just came into my, that Sting song, Brand New Day? That's what I like hear and feel when I see this. This is just like a larger than life kind of, like there's so much energy. Usually the Five of Wands could be about conflict, it could be about fighting, arguing, lots of, you know, messages flying back and forth, things like that. It could be fights or drama, you know. I don't feel that way with this. I feel like when I read these together, like I was told to do, I feel like they're fighting for it. Like these two people, this is what they're really fighting for it. Like they're proving themselves that they're really they're wanting it. They're not, neither of them are giving up. Like no matter how, like, no matter like I just saw people like army crawling. Like no matter, even if they can't use their legs, like they're gonna crawl there then. Like they don't, like failure is not an option at this point. It's just, it's not. I was watching the NASA things yesterday. Pretty cool. It's like they know it's worth the fight. They know that this is gonna stop eventually. They won't have to do this anymore. Well, you shouldn't say that. Because I mean, any relationship, you know, you always have to continue doing that. You can't just like, oh, we're together now, I guess we can stop trying. Like you shouldn't do that. Like they'll always be trying, but like the things they're having to go through now, you know, really. They might have been able to stop other people, but I just don't see this couple stopping at all. There's a determination that it's like, no matter how shitty it might be now, like, we know this is coming. We know. We just know. You know, and I don't feel like it's really like arguing. It's not like arguing between them. That's not like what I'm picking up here. I get like some things are just like there's a lot going on. Things are kind of confusing. Like this guy back here, like where is he? Like him, like he looks like, what are we doing? It's a very sometimes you're confused, sometimes you're lost, sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're angry, sometimes like there's always like these things, you know. But it doesn't matter. Like they've already committed to working through it no matter what. Like it honestly does not matter anymore. You know, like okay, we'll deal with it then. You know, and that's why I think the rest of the cards you got too are so beautiful. It's because especially in this type of dynamic and this kind of relationship, you know, the twin flame kind of, thing, you know, it's important, you know, that you have two people who, you know, consciously choose, you know, the same thing. It's very important. And if they can, you know, I don't want to say the universe is testing, because I really feel like these things are kind of set up, you know, by ourselves in a way, you know, to make sure that we're ready for the next leg of the journey, because we don't want to set ourselves up to fail. You know, I think so. We really, we do these things and we go through these tests and these trials and these, you know, and sometimes it's the other person. Sometimes it's the other person doing things to see, you know, how that person will react and you know, what is still left to work through. You know, so it's kind of like a, I don't know, it's like this back and forth. But it really, it fuels himself. It's like the sun generates. So it's like it's like a battery. It just keeps, like one person will be, and then it just, they charge each other. And it's just, it's very, like, I feel like at either given moment, like either person has been in a place that's like dark, you know what I mean? Like sad, and like it's really the hope for this, and you know, the faith, and you know, and this is going on for these like, sometimes there's nothing, you know, you see nothing. So I mean, this is really fighting for something that they sometimes had a problem even seeing. You know, it's not easy to fight for something you can't see, you don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, well, I guess you know, but you don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sure somebody knows what the hell I mean. Yeah, they're determined. This is determination at its finest. One of you is working with other people on something. And at first I feel like it might have been really chaotic a little bit, because everyone's trying to like figure out where things go, how things happen, or how things will set up. But like slowly I feel like this group of people somehow they're creating something. I feel like these are all very like-minded people. Yeah, and these aren't people, I don't think it's not like a combative kind of thing. This is like people working towards a common goal, towards something, the same thing. And it might just start really coming together now, soon. Create, I heard it's not create, it's being created. Definitely. And it's going to be beautiful. So for whoever that is, your team, it's going to be great. Absolutely amazing. All right, we're going to move on. You also got Ace of Water, which, I mean, it's one of the most beautiful cards in the deck, I think. It's the Ace of Cups. There's a few ways to look at it. The reading on this card, it says, falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth, and enhanced intuition, a new home. for obvious reasons, obviously this is a great relationship card. But, like I say, I'm a lot. Me and my sister had a conversation about this. Darling D. Tarot, by the way, if you don't watch my sister, she's amazing, you should. She says it too. We were talking, like, we say a lot. Huh. I don't know, whoever, maybe somebody else says maybe that's a confirmation for somebody. I don't know why I would bring it up. I'm pretty sure everyone knows I'm saying I could see why this would be, considered a great love card. But I also really like this card because to me it really signifies self-love as well. And I'm like, to me that is the most important thing. Like, it really unlocks everything for you once you really learn to love and accept yourself. I mean, it doesn't mean like, I think it sounds a lot harder than it is. I don't know how else to explain it. But if you could see on the actual, I don't have it, I wish I could show you, on the actual Rider-Waite card or Smith-Waite or whatever Waite deck you know, it's the original one. On the card, it's like a chalice. Okay, some people call it the Holy Grail. I don't, the Holy Grail isn't a cup, but okay. That's a whole other video. In this cup, it's like gushing water out. Okay, so it's overflowing. Cups could be emotions. So I always like kind of, when I do like personal readings, usually like for myself, that is usually a sign of self-love for me. That's, just overflowing. That means you're in such a good energy. You can give so much to other people because you're giving to yourself first. It's a beautiful energy to be in. And that's the energy that both of you are in. It's like you're both in this loving themselves, accepting themselves, which isn't easy. It's not. The other day, my son just turned 12. We had gone to get his his school shots. He's done with his shots, by the way, for a long time. But I was like, well, oh my God. He's always teasing me that he's taller than me. And like, I've been short my whole life. Like, so I'm like, it's like touching a sunburn for me. Because I'm already short. Okay. And he's like, oh, Mom, you're short. So when we went there, he was getting his height and his weight checked. And I was like, I want to check and I want to see the height. I want to see if you're taller than me, because I didn't think it was possible. He's 12, and he's 5'4". He's an inch taller than me. Because I'm 5'3", which is short. But my sister's short too. I think I'm like maybe 5'3.5", maybe almost. Because my sister's dead 5'3", and I'm like a tiny bit. I'll take it though. So I'm 5'3", he's 5'4", so like he's an inch taller than me at 12, and like for some reason that like I was like, like it made me jump back a little bit. I was like, oh my God, I'm so short, So everybody has something about themselves that they're kind of like, It was torture growing up. I wanted to go on roller coasters so bad. I was never tall enough, ever. For all their eyes. My brother, tallest on my brother's 6'5", 6'6", he's huge. And he hates roller coasters. Never go on them. Tall as shit, couldn't go on them. I wanted to go on them, I was too short. It sucked. I get it. But everyone has something they really need to overcome about themselves. Was my point with that. I feel like there's real emotional maturity and balance here. Like these people, it's not that they don't have emotion, they don't show emotion. It's the opposite. It's they're very what's the word? Mature about it. They both realize they have emotions. They both realize they need to discuss them. They need to work through them. They need to feel them, and they allow that. It's a really beautiful dynamic, because it's allowing. like the first, out of nowhere, I'm like all stuffed up. The first reading, it was like being very defensive. It was not allowing, like, no, like, you're not, no. So like this is like the opposite of that. I'm feeling this is very, they understand that, you know, it's going to be this way. It's like flowing. It's sometimes, you know, somebody could feel this way and then this way. Like that's fine. They both are like, that's fine. They feel that way then. It's all right. You know, they'll work through it together. It's fine. Some of you might be moving. Maybe it could be a good distance too, across seas, I heard, or large bodies of water. Some of you in this dynamic, what's like, you may get pregnant. Congratulations. People in this vibration that are having babies, thank you. You are leading the way for an entirely new civilization. So kudos to you. That's really wonderful that you're able to do that. Some of you, I think you're very in touch with like your shadow side. I think your dark side, your the side that you really don't show people. You two have really been able to like, I feel like there's no holding back in that area. Like, you guys really have no problem sharing any kind of secretive shit with each other. It's not, you know, like there's definitely no judgment. And there might not. Is this, see, I don't feel like that was even something that was might have been hard for some of you. That might have come very naturally for some, you know, just not being very judgmental naturally, you know, which could have been an indicator for some of you that it was something different, that this connection was weird because you didn't feel judgment, you didn't feel like different or like there was something wrong for feeling certain ways or having experiences doing things. You know, so I think that's, it was at 2022, I looked up 222. 222 could be important for somebody. I just, it's a really beautiful, and it's a give and take kind of thing, but it's like, it's always even, it's always, and it's not like a give and take where it's like transaction. It's not like a transaction at all. It's just giving and allowing and loving, and it's just very fluid and very beautiful. It's a really wonderful thing to be in. I think it's very understanding. You know, you have people that I think are kind of able to see where the other person is at, either emotionally or spiritually, or, you know, whatever, and they're able to understand. They're able to give them what they need. If they need space, take your space. If they need time, have some time. It's not, they have like transcended the whatever that is, that, you know, like that last little hump. Now it's just divine timing at this point. That's it for this couple. Oh my God, they're wanting me to shut up. Okay, like they're making, oh my God. Okay, like, shut up. Okay. Sometimes they're like, you gotta stop talking about things. Okay, anyway, so this could be self-love. It could be just the dynamic of the relationship in general. But it is a beautiful beautiful relationship. I'm trying to like go like slowly in a direction to see where it was that like I wasn't allowed to go. Everything is going to happen in divine timing. It's going to be incredible how it works out, and just how everything kind of lines up, you know. And I think either of them, whoever this is for, okay. So I'm not allowed to talk about how anything's happening or anything like that. So I guess it's a surprise for me too. Yay! Alright, next and last card is going to be the Blessings card. I love the Blessings card. I absolutely love the Blessings card. You know, it's a card that's very lighthearted to me. And it's almost like things will come, and it's if you see like in the picture, like things are like covered in snow. And anyone who's lived in snow, like I grew up in rural Pennsylvania, and like sometimes during, you know, certain times of the year, like it can look dismal out. It can look just, that's why there's so many suicides at certain times of the year, because it looks like woo, you know. But this to me is like a lighthearted, like, you know, even when things look, you know, blanketed in a certain way, you know, that things can pick up and blessings can come pouring in. And I think that's usually when they happen, for the most part. And I think especially for whatever couple is in this dynamic right now, that's especially how it's going to happen. It's going to be like when you least expect it. When one of them least expects it, at least. So, make sure you're cute. Wherever you go. No, I'm kidding. If they're your twin flame, they'll think you're cute no matter what you're wearing. Yeah, that's a good test if you haven't done it. Send them a picture with no makeup on. Like in your like crappiest clothes. Do it. Don't clean your house and then send them a picture with a selfie. See if they stick around. Sometimes things get messy. Sometimes things happen. You gotta know that they're not gonna like run away with that stuff. You know? Gotta know what their intentions are. Blessings are definitely coming. And I know I'm not really allowed to talk too much on what they are, but I feel like everything will make sense. Like things, you'll get things. You'll like the things that you have found yourself maybe struggling with in the past, or like asking like why am I still doing this? Why am I learning? Why is this happening? Everything's going to be answered. Okay, these blessings, you know, people think blessings, they think they're going to be like, you know, Scrooge McDuck jumping in like gold and stuff. That's not always what blessings are. Blessings, you know, sometimes they're realizations, sometimes they're truth. Just being able to have truth. So you know, maybe you are crazy, you know. That might, like, especially for these twins that are like having to do this completely blind, like completely on faith and just energy and feeling, like, and hope, like, that's important. That will be a super important thing to find out, that they weren't crazy, they were right the whole time. That's going to be like wonderful. That's a blessing. That's a confirmation, you know. So it's not always monetary. It's not always you know, physical, earthly possessions that blessings are. They could be a lot of other things as well, but they're coming. It could be communication. You could receive communication. Okay. Be quiet again. So I have to stop talking because some of you are, I feel like, are so close. Like something's gonna happen and it's gonna be amazing. Okay. I get excited, you know. All right. I want to thank you guys for watching and subscribing and listening. I know things have kind of changed. I've been working on different things and setups and backgrounds and stuff like that. I'm really starting to get to a point where I'm like kind of happy with things. I took a bit of a break, but I feel so much better now that I did. It really was like crazy around this time for me, energetically and stuff. So if I disappear, like, just know I'm like probably making myself even better, and I'll be back. That's usually how it happens. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Blessings are coming. They really are. So just keep believing that they are, and they will show up. All right. If you want to be my friend on Instagram, Divine Destiny 1111. If you want a reading, divinedestinytarot.com. You can go there. I'm happy to be back, and I'm really appreciative of everything you guys do. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, pile number 3. You guys got a lot of earthy. Everything's earthy for you guys. Very earthy. I like it. It's like natural. It's very grounded. I like it. I do. I really do. If you've noticed, I've been gone for a while. But I'm back. Obviously. I hope you've missed me. If not, okay. Fine. I'm excited for Leo season coming. Cancer season has kicked my ass, and I'm ready for Leo to light a fire under my butt so I can get out of that. But I shouldn't say that. It's really like I've done so much like spiritual growth and like personal like transformative stuff, while I've been gone. So it's not like I've just been doing nothing, but like to feel so much is like very, especially when you're so tied to like the cycles of the moon and stuff. It's like I'm very ruled by the moon, Cancer, and water in some of my charts. So it's like I have to be very careful with what I'm doing. And if I'm giving out too much energy, I'll have no energy for my family, for myself, and that's not pretty. So we're gonna start. I'll put your other card down. I was told to draw 2 cards and read them together. So instead of just 1 card, you're gonna get 2, but it's gonna be read as 1 card. That's just how it is. So, Queen of Pentacles is very motherly, and I picked this up in the last reading, so I don't know if someone's like a cross-watcher, or maybe you just pick 2 piles and you're watching this one as well, but maybe that's why somebody's pregnant, so it's picking up that energy again, because that's what I'm getting again. But somebody is pregnant. Somebody could be trying to get pregnant. Somebody could be trying to birth something. Could be a career, could be a goal, could be personal development. Queen of Pentacles likes to hang outside. She likes animals. I love the Queen of Pentacles. She's very grounded, but she is very intuitive. I think that she has less of a grip on like, see how she's looking at the pen. She's not like holding on to, like she's just kind of holding what's landed in her lap. That's kind of the feeling that I get. It's like this, everything that they need is going to be kind of given to them. It's just going to like fall into their laps almost. It's a very abundant, beautiful energy. I feel like, whatever this couple, or even just one person in this dynamic, is very much living in this abundant Queen of Pentacles energy, where she just knows everything is going to come to her. Like, she doesn't need anything outside of herself. Like, everything will just kind of fall in her lap. For some of you, there could be action taken towards something. There could be, I feel like messages coming in. Usually swords are messages, mostly. But, you know, wands can also be, for me, like, text message or like emails or like online kind of correspondence. That, like, because it's like tangible, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that's just what I'm getting from this type of communication. If this was communication for you, that's the type of communication it was going to be. It would probably be something digital. Okay, there's of the earth. They're saying of the earth, so it's physical. It's a tangible. You can look at it. It's not like somebody walks up to you and speaks. You know, this is like you get a letter or whatever and you read. It's very open. It's very calm, but expectant. It's like calm before the storm, but the storm is a good thing. You're like, they know something's coming, and they're excited because it looks like they really value it. And I think that's what kickstarts this is the gratefulness factor. Is, you know, how grateful these people are, and it could just be for the relationship in general. It could be for everything. They could just be a very grateful people or a person or whoever this is for. There's like nothing around, and then out of nowhere, this hand comes at us. So there's another element of surprise. I picked up on that in the last one too. Something's going to happen, and it's going to be like, it's going to be surprising. Like the heavens have parted and given you something absolutely amazing, kind of surprising. Some of you are going to the mountains. There's a rabbit here. So rabbit might be important to somebody. Maybe it's a Chinese sign for somebody. I actually think I'm a rabbit. In Chinese zodiac. Pretty sure I'm a rabbit. I'm a salmon, and I don't know why that bothers me. Like, well, there's like all these cool, like for Native American, like these badass like things, then I'm like a salmon. I don't know if there's any other salmon people out there, so don't, you know, I'm not saying they're bad, but they're not very ferocious, you know, the salmon. Aries. Somebody might be an Aries, or they have a lot of Aries qualities about them. If you don't know what those are, Google them. The Aries qualities that I'm picking up are aggressive, but in a good way. You know, like a go-getter. Confident, fiery, just like a driving force, just a force to be reckoned with, that kind of a thing. Like very determined. They like to be first, you know. I feel like, you know, on the the bottom here, if you could look on the ground, there's like patches of like where things aren't growing, you know, but she doesn't look concerned about it. And that was brought up to me. It's like they're saying, you know, even if there's rough patches, even if things don't look good or fertile or abundant right now, things are coming. You may not see them, but as long as you have that trust and you have that patience. Queen of Pentacles is very patient. She's a very, very, very patient queen. You know, very loving, very kind, very sweet. So as long as you can keep that, and you can understand that, you know, wonderful things come usually when you're not expecting them. As long as we're keeping that gratitude up, and we're keeping that loving energy about us, you know, because that's what attracts things. You know, you're not going to attract things when you're closed off and you're negative and you're like, nothing but that is going to come back to you. You know, so if you need to be, you know, admitting the same frequency that you want to have come back to you. It's super important. Seven of Earth is Seven of Pentacles. It says here, it says seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. This is in the Waite Tarot. It's the guy when he's by a big bush and it has all the pentacles on it, and he's like kind of like leaning down. He's like daydreaming. He's not doing any work. It depends on how I see this card, or if what's near it. If there's other stuff around, you know, that kind of determines the feeling I get for the card itself. With your other two cards, I feel like this relationship is also in that the second pile, number two's energy, where it's like you're kind of just waiting at this point for a divine timing, you know, divine guidance, divine timing. Everything is being led divinely at this point. Like, you guys have really surrendered any kind of control. It's something that's very trusting in a way, you know, even with no proof. Somebody might have some doubts, and that's, you know, I mean, to say that's not natural or normal or whatever you want to call it, that's not true. You know, things creep into our minds. It happens, you know, but we can train ourselves to not think like that. You know, once you can control that aspect of you, you know, it's really, it makes things so much quieter, you know. And I don't mean like, I guess, yeah, you know, honestly, it does make things quieter on the outside too, because once you're quiet on the inside, everything kind of mirrors it on the outside. So, you know, for those of you, I keep knocking, I gotta move that shit back. It's a process. For those of you who are kind of, what's the word? I lost my thought now. For those of you that are kind of like worried and you know, stressed out, or like get to a point where it's like you just don't know. You know, I mean, some of you, it maybe like it's that same energy, I think, from the first one, that very defensive kind of like, not like defense, like a controlling thing, like because they can't see exactly what's going to happen, it's scary. You know, like it's not that they don't believe, it's not that they don't want to, just sometimes it gets the better of them, because they're like, there's just nothing, there's no communication, there's nothing, you know. All you can go on are feelings and energies and things like that. And I mean, I don't know, maybe there is people that get to a point, you know, that they really don't have those thoughts. I'm sure, I mean, I still have things creep into my mind. It happens, you know, but I think this is it's like a worry card this time, is how it's being used. It's like it's trying to tell you, you really don't need to worry. You don't need to be stressing. You don't need to wonder. You've already planted the seeds you needed to. They've already been put in the ground. You're just waiting at this point. There's really no point in stressing. Okay? Which leads me real quick to, they said to this one, to body care, because some of this body care that you guys got is self-image, self-love, self-acceptance. This could be something that both of you or one of you is really working on right now. Learning how to love yourself 100%, to accept yourself, your flaws, your, you know, whether you're short or whatever. It's fine. And that's, you know, it's fine to take a pause. Like, I don't know, I hear a lot that it's like, go, 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 you gotta work. I feel like taking time off and taking time to like, is just as important as putting a lot of work in. And it's something that I do. I know it probably annoys a lot of people. But people that really know me know that's how I am. I'm very, you know, when I need to withdraw and to kind of hermit mode myself, that's what I do. And it's strictly out of, you know, care for myself. It's because that's how I'm able to continue running in a healthy way. You know, I got kids. I can't run myself ragged. I have to be able, you know, to disconnect from some things and put that energy back into myself. And I will always do that, you know. And I feel like it's also a priority thing. You know, if you're putting your energy in a lot of different places and you have no time for yourself, or, you know, other things that you want to put energy into, you need to reprioritize. You need to, you know, see where you're putting those energies. Where are your priorities? My priorities, you know, are with love and family, and while I do love doing this and I think it's fun, it's going to be behind those other things for me. That's just how it is. You know, it probably will cost me, you know, a lot of followers or whatever, or I might not be, but, you know, that's fine. I'm being able to stay in a frame of mind that's not dangerous for me, that's not unhealthy for me to live in. So to me, it's worth it. Somebody, I think, really and it's not always about physical looks. You know, like, people think when they say accept yourself that it's like, oh, accept that, you know, your butt's big, or I don't know what else people complain about. What do they complain about? Thighs are big, or I don't know what. Whatever you complain about. Like physical things. And sometimes it's not even about that. Sometimes it's about, you know, you don't love the things that technically you think make you not bad. You know, you're bad for thinking. You have to love those parts of you. You have to love the very unloved parts of you, the very parts of you that you really don't want to love. You know, but when you're done, you do. Because they're parts of you and you want to accept them. Because that's what leads to healing. This is somebody who, and I mean, I definitely have not suffered, but like I have dealt with this, like, modesty over my life. I've always been very modest in a way, like with my body and stuff. You can see little Angel is kind of doing that. So I understand, like, even growing up, like, girls would wear, like, you know, like bikinis or like tube tops, and like I never did. I always had the body for it, but I never wore it. It was just like I was just modest that way. And it's probably from something in my childhood, I would imagine. I should probably work on that. See, like, I'm getting messages too. But, you know, sometimes it's okay to really flaunt yourself, to love yourself, everything about yourself. You should be able to walk by a mirror and be like, damn. Like, I can't walk by a mirror without, like, stopping and looking at myself. And it's not just because I'm a Leo. And because my hair is so pretty. That's not it. So much more. You know, you need to get to a point where you look in the mirror and you're just like, wow. That you're grateful. You're grateful. Like her Faith. She's awake. She's chit-chatting. That you're just thankful for everything. You know, all the things that, you know, you don't think are great about you, that's what made you you. If you had only good things, I mean, you wouldn't have all the other stuff that has been learned into you from these things. Some of you need to work on your body. Maybe you've been thinking, maybe I should take up a routine. Maybe I should start doing this or that. Like, this is your confirmation. If you've been wondering if you should start some sort of workout or anything like that, you should. You really should. You know, and you don't have to, like, I just saw create. You don't have to do, you know, what everyone else is doing. You can take different workouts and modify it to how it works for you. You don't have to stick with what everyone else is doing. You can just create your own if you really want to. This to me is just saying, don't worry about it. Don't worry, be happy. It's that simple. You know, we try to make it to where it's not, I think, in some ways. But it can be. It can be very, very simple if you allow it. You know, it's really all a mental thing. You know, I think that if that wasn't an issue, like, there would already be union here, probably. So this is that last little bit. Just like pile number 1, I think, you know, it's just that one last little bit that you just have to, like, balance this tiny little bit, and then the rest you can work on together. You know, so that's, oh, sun's awake. They're all waking up. That's what this is. I think it's just a sign to relax and let things flow. Okay. I'm going to stop because I'm having an issue talking. That's like my cue to be quiet. So, thank you so much for watching and liking and subscribing. It's really wonderful to talk to everyone. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, Divine Destiny 1111, you can go there and follow me if you want. If you need God, it's like so hard to talk. If you need a reading, you can go to divinedestinytarot.com. You can get readings there. I think that's it. I hope everyone, just got a text message. I hope everyone is having a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.